Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Never in a Million. I'm a gift designer, and tonight I'm going to make a couple of gifts. I have also failed Pretty Girl Designs by Tasha's challenge of 10 a day, but I do make a little over 10 tonight. Okay, so I have been very busy. I have lately been busy with homecoming. Oddly, it seemed like every time I dropped off a homecoming basket, I either got an order or someone asked some questions about the gifts that I was dropping off, and they were like, "Do you make gifts? Oh, I need some gifts. I need gift bags." And so blessed to do that. I wish I could share those, but they're more personalized, and I didn't want to really share those on the YouTube channel. So yes, I also have been very busy. So if you don't know, I work. I have a 9 to 5 type job. I'm a college professor, and then after that, I've been as soon as I get off, I usually FaceTime my friend Bagged and Bowed. Shout out to her and her channel. She's very close to 500 subscribers, and she's going to do a ribbon giveaway. So if you haven't, go check out her channel. But yeah, so I usually call her after work, and then lately she's been keeping me on the phone all hours of the night. So I've been helping her come up with concepts, and I tell you, that girl will bust out into song, start talking about anything and everything, and I'm like, girl, if you don't get this stuff and put it in that damn basket and let's get on. I really like to hurry up and get these concepts made, but she's very meticulous. And I just am thinking about her because I'm starting to use some more of these blankets as well. And so you always know that we always like to usually take these and put them on a cardboard or a box or something and use them as a backer. And so when she was working on some of her men concepts, I was like, maybe let's do something a little bit different. So your table doesn't all look alike. So every concept doesn't look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 17, let's have a little bit of variety. And when she got on there on her video and she was talking about it, she was like, yeah, you might want to try something different so it doesn't look formulaic. When she said formulaic, I hollered. I just cracked up. I commented on there. I said, you better use those degrees. Formulaic. Who does she think she's talking to? But that just cracked me up. So shout out to Bagged and Bowed. She's trying to grow her channel. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Very close to 500. Has some lovely concepts that we be working on at late hours in the evening. So I did kind of come in today and just kind of knock a few concepts out. And I wanted to show you this to you if you have a bunch of blankets like I do and you don't really have time, especially during the holiday season, to, make big, huge baskets. Sometimes people aren't looking for those huge of a gift, but you can still make your money's worth with a small concept like this. And I'm just going to build it in the bag. This is nothing new. I have a short of me doing some of these with the soft soaps, where I just throw it in the bag and I show you the outcome of it. But I'm going to do some for gentlemen tonight. Okay. And so I have here a little piece of cardboard that I wrapped in tissue paper. You might want to use something a little bit sturdier than tissue paper because the tape kind of tore a little bit. But you know me, rocking and rolling. And then a little piece of greenery. And this piece of greenery came from this little more memorial arrangement that you would put like on a grave site. It pennied out at Dollar General. And this was kind of the backing to it. So where you can like stick that in the gravesite. And I just tore this off and I thought it was a nice little piece of evergreen and it looked Christmassy. Okay, so I'm going to add that to the back of here. And then I am going to use some men's shoes. You can do it like straight, or I do it at like a little slight angle, just to add a little visual interest. And then I'm going to use some house shoes. Now the house shoes in this is nothing new. It is something that is tried and true, and I do it every year, especially around Father's Day and Christmas time. I do this. I don't really do it for Mother's Day, oddly, or Valentine's, but I rock and roll with these house shoes, and these were some 97-cent house shoes from Family Dollar. And so I might speed through or fast forward, or you can feel free to fast forward. This is a long video, but I'm going to stuff them, add a loofah as well as some body wash. Okay. Okay, so I got my Sharpie here, and I'm going to Sharpie out the price tag of a candle. Now, these candles I have had in my stockpile for a long time. They are some mahogany teak wood, and they were a penny at Family Dollar, part of fall. Okay, so of course, you know I'm going to tape all this. In the house shoe is a body wash that was also a penny, and it is Shavely. And so those pennied out when all those candles had penny out. Remember, everyone was going to get those candles that randomly surprise pennied. The Shavely's also pennied out. So I don't know if a lot of people knew that or not. I didn't see a lot of people hauling them. Maybe they couldn't find them, but I did. So anyway, here we have a penny candle, a penny body wash, a loofah that was 67 cents, 2 in a pack from Dollar Tree, as well as a $1 blanket. And I finished one of these earlier, and I will bow that one, and it is going to look like this when it is finished. And so this is just some floral satin ribbon with in silver and in red and black. Okay, just to kind of match everything. And I have sold these house shoes like this with just the house shoes time and time again for $35 or $45 with Bath and Body Works. So this set alone would be $35, and you can add the $10 or the $15 and make it $45 or up to $50, whichever you would like. But that is a nice $10 blanket, and they are still $10 in the store currently now. Okay. The next little gift that I'm going to show you is one that I have also done previously on a short. And it is basically the female version of this with some soft soap. And this, I didn't use house shoes, and I used some penny socks. And then these are like a little pumice stone. Okay. And those came from Amazon. My sister bought them, and she gave me the rest because she had to buy a large pack of them with another $10 blanket. Okay. This one I would sell around $35. There's no house shoes in them. Okay. The next concept that I am going to show you is another concept that I have done on a short, specifically on the one that says like cruising to 1,000 when we were trying to get All Things with a K. Shout out to All Things with a K. She reached 1,000 by her birthday. But if you recall, in that cruising to 1K, I did a wallet and a perfume. It was like a heart-shaped perfume. So this is another concept. It's nothing very new here, except for this one little trick where I decided to use this clear container, but decided to use some wrapping paper. So some of you guys saw this wrapping paper from the last video I did where it was like $7.10. Never looked so good. When I did that kind of larger concept for a teen girl. And this wrapping paper came from Dollar General, and it's out now in the Christmas section, but it is screaming Valentine's. Okay. So I have a whole bunch of Christmas gifts. I've been working on 50 gifts a month since Father's Day. Okay. So I have, I think when we were counting, like 300 and something gifts now. Okay. So I'm a little tuckered out on the Christmas gifts, but I'm starting on Valentine's. And this is just a rough, I'm just going to mock this up for this last one that I have to do kind of fastly. And it is a $1 perfume. Shout out to Still Classy, who told us about these from City Trends. And this perfume actually smells pretty good. I think it's a dupe of Dior, I want to say. But that, and then a $1 wallet. Okay. So this is a $2.15 concept. The little small trays were 15 cents from a Dollar General. Okay. Like I said, I've done this on a short with the heart-shaped perfume as well. Okay. When we were subscribing to All Things with a K. If you have not subscribed to All Things with a K, go ahead and still do that as well. So of course we like to take this out, and then we like to kind of make it look a little bit more, and we'll also add a rose to this as well. Okay. So we have that perfume there. Okay, for the interest of time, I just kind of cut out that section, and I'm showing you this gift here. Now, I am showing you this gift with this bow here. Okay, so I've had some viewers reach out to me via email and showed me some of their bows, and they said, promise not to laugh. And so I'm showing you this bow here. Okay, so one of the common mistakes with floor satin bows is that you're not using enough loops, and sometimes your loops are too long. And so when people have problems, they want to make a nice luxurious bow, they tend to have longer loops and longer tails, thinking that's going to get them to where it needs to be. But really, it's about having more loops. Okay, so don't be afraid to use the ribbon. It's cheap, or it was when we were getting it cheap. I'm still working on finding us a new supplier. Okay, but don't be afraid to use multiple loops. Okay, so that means more and more ribbon is going to be used, but you want short, tight loops, and you just want more loops. And then the other thing that's very important, and I'll talk about this later on in the video when I do my blue gift, is you really want to have a good cut on your, when you cut your V of the ribbon, cut it, because it makes an axis. Okay, so I didn't really cut deep enough on this other one, the smaller one, for demonstration, because I didn't want to show the viewers bow, because no, we don't want to laugh at people's bows, but this could be a learning opportunity for you. And so I was trying to tell them that you need more loops to make a luxurious bow, and you don't need longer. They kind of have to be shorter. Okay, so short loops, and I'll demonstrate this further in the video below. Okay, I mean at the end. I don't know why I'm saying below, but skip down on to the end if you want to just learn about bows. Okay, so I'm showing you what these concepts look like. I will fix this bow over here on the side, but this is the larger gift that I'm going to do tonight. And so I'm going to do this concept for kind of an older child, if that makes sense. Okay, so I did a lot of the kids' gifts in this same wrapping paper, but sometimes I have customers who have adult children. Okay, and we know the children want a gift too, from mama and daddy or Santa Claus. They want a gift too, and so they could be in their 20s, or they could be in their 30s, but they still want a nice gift. And so this is going to be like a household gift with a penny sheet set. And this blanket I did get from Dollar General on a penny. I got two exactly like this. They were on a very top shelf all the way in the back. And I'm also going to add one of these cups. Okay, so this cup came from Family Dollar on sale for 4th of July. And I know a lot of people were leaving the blue cups, but the blue cups have been showing out. I used tons of them from homecoming. I only have these two left. So that was a godsend that I had all those blue cups. Okay. Oh, wow. I jumped over straight to the gift. So I used the sheet set, the comforter, the cup, and then this is a penny shower curtain as well. Okay. So $1.28 for this gift. Okay. And now I'm going to go in depth about the bows. Okay. And how to make a nice, big, luxurious bow. And then the common misconceptions. So this is floor satin. This is the only thing I used. And some of you got it while the supplier that I used to use still had it. I'm working on a new supplier because they no longer have it at that website that I used to tell you guys about. Okay. People have told me, they came in the comments and said, it's already gone. I should have made a video as soon as I found out. But I had a whole bunch of other things going on. Okay. So this is how I do my ribbon. I get the ends and I try to get them to match as much as I can when I'm doing several ribbons. But you'll see it doesn't really work out that whole time. It depends on how fast you're pulling. Okay, so I know this sounds strange, but for me, this is a key factor. I don't ever measure ribbon. You get 100 yards on each spool. It is relatively inexpensive, and I just guesstimate. Okay. One thing about design is even numbers never really work out for me. Okay. This is 3 ribbons, and I would say it's usually about 2 arm lengths. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2.5, sometimes it's 4. But it's 3 ribbons that I'm using here, and this is about how much I would use to make a nice size bow. Okay. So what I like to do is start by leaving a good little tail. You don't want it too long. You don't want it too short. Okay. This is about the proximity that you want it. You want it to be about 1.5 times the length of your loops. Okay. And then you're going to make this roll here. Okay. Now I'm showing you what people commonly want to do. They think, oh, I want to make a big bow. Let me have some big loops. And you see how this is flopping? You see how it's kind of flopping? It's a little bit all over the place. That's the same way your bow will be when you do it, when you unroll it. And it'll be floppy and it'll just be flopping all around. And while it might look pretty just then, if you are storing these gifts like I am, from June to December, it is going to fall even more. Trust me, it will. Okay. So you want to make your loops shorter and tighter. And you see how it's not falling and it's standing? That's how I get my bows to stand. Okay. That and that alone. So the longer the loop, the more it kind of droops. Okay. So get it nice and short. And when you do both sides, it really shouldn't be much longer or much of the width of a piece of paper. Okay. Like a piece of printer paper. And this is almost too long for me. Okay. But this is a bigger gift. And so you do want to make sure that it is size appropriate. Okay. But just because it's a big gift, we don't want to keep on going to where our loops are dripping. Okay. So you just roll that up, okay? And you will see that one of my tails are shorter than the other. Also, one side will have more loops than the other. Again, the best thing about design is working in odd numbers, okay? I'm not counting these loops, but one will have more than the other side, and that will be to your benefit. Some people try or anal and try to get it all even, but that won't be to your benefit. I promise you. I don't know why it works like that, but it does. Okay. So I'm measuring, I'm saying, oh, I can do another loop with this blue. And then I just take it on and I keep doing another loop. Oop, I can do another loop with this blue. And I can't with the silver. Okay. And I really couldn't with that lighter blue. So I just did it however many times I could, but then I want tails. You can make as many tails as you want with just one thing of ribbon and add it to the center, just like I did that. And you're saying, oh, okay, that's nice. Oh, well, I would like another tail. Okay. So you can make another tail. You can make another blue tail. You can make another anything. You can also add more loops if you wanted to. Okay. So just keep on doing this to see how many loops you want, how many tails you want, and you can keep on adding them. Once you get what you need, okay, what you feel that you might need, then you want to fold the ribbon in half. Okay. So let's say you took off a length of the ribbon and you didn't have enough loops. You can just simply add more loops at this stage. Okay. You can do anything you want to at this stage before you make the V cut. Okay. So now we're getting ready to make the V. And typically, if you're just putting it on a regular basket, you would want to cut a even as most even as you can get it, V on each side. But this will be on the top of a gift, and I have a good amount of space to fill at the bottom and a little amount of space to fill at the top. So I'm going to make one short V and one long V. This is a secret tip. Okay, I haven't really disclosed this. But you can make a short V and a long V. Okay, so that one's the shorter side and this one's the longer side. And then sometimes you can make no V at all, or just one side you cut and the other side you don't. So like for that small gift with the luxurious rounded bow, I only made a V on one side. Now that is for an experienced gift designer or bow designer, I should say. I just want to tell a little quick story about these bows. I learned how to make these bows from my grandmother. She used to have a home in Virginia with about 32 or 42 windows. And in every single window, she had a wreath for Christmas time. And we were in charge of making bows for every single window. And it had like a little candle in the window and a wreath on the outside. And we had to use floor satin because it snows in Virginia. Okay. And so when the snow would hit and the sun would dry it off, the ribbon wouldn't be stained or mildewed or anything like that. And so that is how I learned to make this bow when I was, in the 5th or 6th grade, and we made 30 or 40 of them, even sized, for every single window that the house had, okay? So I just tied with that V. I'm going to lay this gift down, and you see how there's a good bit of area that I need to cover at the bottom before that top of the cup, and there's just a little bit of area that I need to cover at the top of the gift, because this will be one of those gifts that you see from one side and it looks wrapped, and the other side is a full gift. Now I'm going to put this bow on the other side where the full gift is. The long V section will be facing the cup, and the short V section will face the top. Okay, this is a little tip, and that will create a dropping mechanism, so where you can drop that bow all the way down so it touches the cup, and you can make a good, nice full bow, and it's just not like a spray. Okay, then the next thing I want to talk about is these tails. Now, I know it looks luxurious to have long tails, but the tails need to be proportional. Okay, it looks luxurious now, but this ribbon is not like wired ribbon. It will crease over time, especially if you're storing these, and then you'll come into a situation where your bow looks like it's been through hell. Also, it has like a slight bend and curl because it comes off a spool, but it will drop over time. Okay, so when you see the long ribbons and it looks nice now, you might be on the street with the roll of ribbon trying to make new bows because they're getting crushed up. And it can help, weigh your bow down. So you want to make sure that the tails are proportional. In the long run, trust me, it will help you. So I'm reviewing all the gifts that I made. I didn't make these on camera. The video is already long enough. But these are just 2 pajama sets that I got for 97 cents. Well, not 2 sets, but it's, a pajama bottom and a shirt with the Bath and Body Works, just to bring that value up. I haven't even bowed these, but I will. I'll do a red and blue bow. So I did 4 of those. Remember, I did 3 of the perfume ones, and then I did 2 of these ones that I'm pointing to here with the house shoe and the candle and the blanket on the back. And then I have a complete set to do one of those jumbo adult gifts, hidden gifts I call them, which you can turn around and see the wrapping paper, or the other side you see the actual gift. And that's just something to like refresh adults bedroom or something of that nature. I'm pointing out here that this bag looks a little saggy, and I might actually shrink wrap it. And if I do, I'll show you it on the short. I have everything else to make another complete one of those concepts. And so that's 2 in the back, 4 over there, 2 over there, 4 of the pajama sets, 2 of the household gifts, 3 of the perfume sets, and 2 of those blanket and house shoes. All right, guys, we are coming near the end of the video. It's 11 gifts in total. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with me. Have a good one. Good night.